timely jersey. Carlos Gonzalez, they're everywhere today, and they should be. Carr goes off to the All-Star game. Well-deserved honor as the Rockies get ready to take on the San Diego Padres. Rubber game of a 3-game set, final game of this 7-game homestand for Colorado. And earlier in the morning, Carlos Gonzalez out on the field. It was family day, receiving congratulations from teammates and his hitting coach, Carney Lansford. Cargo is off to the All-Star game. It will be his first. Here's what he had to say.
Very special for me. My dream come true, and obviously I'm really excited to represent the Rockies organization in the All-Star game, and I will try to do my best to for all my fans here in Colorado and all over the United States and Venezuela too.
And welcome upstairs with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Well, if Cargo did not go to the All-Star game, regardless of record for the Colorado Rockies, there should have been an investigation.
Well, I'm not surprised one bit that he's going to the All-Star game. What I'm surprised is he finished 10th in voting. People around America don't realize how great a player this young man is. 6th in average right now, tied for 4th in home runs, 2nd in RBIs, 3rd in slugging, 1st in runs. What other category does he need to fill up to get the votes? That's the thing that surprised me more than anything else. The surprise getting there, not a surprise. But for me and the fans voting, once again, I think maybe the public relations side of this for Cargo, more people see him play, the more you will enjoy what he does on the field.
And, he used the word enjoy as he hooks up there with Dante Bichette, a guy who was an all-star and knows a thing or two about hitting the baseball. George, he enjoys playing the game, and he brings that great joy to the ballpark every day, and you and I get to see that.
Well, we get to see that. The fans across America get to see it for 3 games or on a national televised ball game. They don't get to see it every day, how much he enjoys the passion, the love for the game, and I think he's truly one of those guys that recognizes the fact that these fans, and there's been a lot coming every night into Coors Field in this homestand, come, and he needs to be in the lineup. He's taking a day off today. I get it. He needs it. But that they deserve to see him play, and he gets that.
Yeah. So congratulations to Carlos Gonzalez, a first-time All-Star. It will not be his final appearance. I can guarantee you that, in the Midsummer Classic. Look who's back, Drew Pomeranz. He'll have the baseball today. We'll talk more about him in a moment. Pomeranz back in the big leagues and taking on the San Diego Padres for the second time in his career. In fact, his last big league start came against San Diego. Back upstairs, along with George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. One of the main reasons he was sent to Colorado Springs, George, was to work on mechanics and change the arm slot.
Well, here's the thing about it. He was getting long and slingy. And whenever you do that, what happens, the ball flattens out for you. You lose the downhill drive. So one of the things Bo was instructed to do, let's make sure that when we get his arm, we want his arm up in this fashion here. We don't want it slinging from the outside. Two things happen when you do that. You get outside the baseball, so it's rolling and tailing, and you don't have the same velocity versus the arm up. So when the arm's up, and I say arm up, it's flush the elbow even with your shoulder. So now the hand stays up. If the hand gets flat, even when the arm's up, it's still going to be a flat pitch. It's not going to have the velocity. So he's really worked on hand positioning and the ability to keep this front side up here. Now with that front side, the one thing that he did also is to keep this level. He would let it drop. By letting that drop, you get rotational in your upper half, and you can't get the downward plane. So they've raised that front side, firmed it up a little bit, raised the arm side. And from scouts, not Rockies, not our pitching coaches, not in our dugout, not on our third floor. Scouts have told me from other organizations, 92 to 95, that's what they saw when they traded for it.
Okay, well, hopefully we see a little bit of that today, and a lack of runs on the other side. Drew Pomeranz has great ability. He'll return to the Coors Field mound in a few minutes. It's the Rockies and Padres. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. By CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. So Drew Pomeranz taking the field, getting ready to take on the San Diego Padres. The Padres prevailed yesterday 8-4 over the Rockies. So the Rockies got a very good start from Christian Friedrich. Allowed just one run in 5 innings of work. Kristen Orphy again will be atop Bud Black's lineup. And let's take a look at the rest of the Southwest batting order for Buddy Black. He'll have Logan Forsythe batting second. Chase Headley will bat third. Jesus Guzman making his first start in the series. He'll bat cleanup. Yasmani Grandal, what a day for him yesterday. in his first big league start, a couple of home runs. Yonder Alonso, Cameron Maven. Great day for the 5'6" Alexi Amarista. He hit a pair of home runs. And the former Rocky, albeit briefly, Kip Wells, will be on the mound.
Drew Pomeranz, sixth start this season, 0-2, 470, but has really pitched well during the daylight hours in his big league career, 2-1, 374. And if you look at his numbers over the course of the season, the one thing that jumps out at me, and it's the change he's made at the AAA level, 15 walks in 23 innings. He's only given up 2 home runs this year at the big league level. So I think the one thing is to concentrate, obviously, with the 75 pitch limit that they have, throw strikes and throw them early.
And the first pitch of the ball game in there for a strike. And George, to your point, that's what Christian Friedrich did again yesterday. He did not walk a batter in 5 innings.
Watch Jeff Francis the night before. Same exact thing. Same type of result. You know, first pitch offering from Pomeranz, 93. Ball back up the middle, not hit hard at all. They'll be able to get the runner at first for the first out. 92 with that fastball.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're pointing that out. You mentioned it during the open, George. The 92s, the 93s, the 94s. He was really 88 to 90 the first part of the year before he was sent out.
Well, and that's because I thought the low front side created a lower arm side. It got a little bit long at times. I mean, we saw people steal bases on him, 4 in 1 ball game. So I think by elevating the arm, all of a sudden that downward plane and utilizing his 6'5" frame has really paid off.
1 out, and a good looking fastball at the knees on Logan Forsythe, and that came across at 93. And again, velocity is not everything. It's
location
is. It's about location and missing bats and mishit balls, throwing off the timing of the hitters. But it is good to see the velocity back up. That's lobbed into center field, a base hit for Forsythe.
Well, if you look at Pomeranz and see what he has to offer to hitters, it's typically going to be a majority fastballs. He has started to cut the ball a little bit. You see this 72% fastballs, 4-seam normally, changeup, doesn't use it very often. He has a spike curveball. And I think the one pitch that probably will become a little more prominent in his repertoire would be that 2-seam fastball. He's only throwing it 2% of the time to get the ground ball out. This situation, particularly when you're looking at 75 pitches, shorten your innings, shorten your workload.
Switch hitter Chase Headley at the plate, and Headley has the bat blown up in his hands. And he rolled it foul. Headley was an all-star candidate for the Padres. Every team has at least one representative. And we congratulate, he didn't make it, we congratulate former Rocky Houston Street. Street will be representing the Padres in the Midsummer Classic in Kansas City next Tuesday. Good pitch there, George.
Really good pitch, a hard slider. Now, most of the time you would see curveball from him. But this is another pitch that Bo McLaughlin started to introduce Pomeranz to and then take advantage of that. See Headley's numbers, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs, hit 271. Not eye-popping numbers, but they are when you look at the rest of what the Padres hitters have done.
Runner gets a big jump, and then it skips away from Will Nieves. And Forsythe has a stolen base.
Second one for Logan Forsythe on the year. He's been caught one time.
I'm a Logan Forsythe fan, George. He's a high-energy player.
Now played at the University of Arkansas, was a high draft pick of the Padres. Very good jump off of that. Looked back to see where the ball was going to go, and then when he saw the ball skip away. Thoughts? Served better to set at second. He has good enough speed to score on a base hit. 6 strikes, 1 ball. Really like to see that ratio.
Absolutely.
What Pomeranz has done.
Absolutely. 1 and 2 on Headley. And another broken bat. Little roller to second. Scudero will throw him out. That fastball at 94. And George, that could be the difference between barrel and a broken bat.
6 miles an hour difference than what we'd seen earlier. And if you take a look at the Rockies defense today.
Yeah, Colvin's in left. Cargo being given a day off by the skipper. Dexter and Michael Kadire out there. Pacheco, Johnny Herrera left side. Scudero, Jason Giambi on the right side. And Will Nieves, as we talked about a moment ago, is doing the catching. So you have 2 outs. Runner on third, and a good right-handed bat in Jesus Guzman. He has struggled in the month of June, but we've seen this guy do some damage in the past.
13 doubles, 1 triple, a couple of home runs this year. He's walked 14 times. He has 26 RBIs and 176 at bats. First time that Pomeranz has not thrown strike 1 to a hitter.
Two and 0 the count. May 7th in San Diego, the last big league start for Pomeranz. And another softly hit ball right side. Scudero to Giambi. You know you have a little giddy up. Went on a 2-0 pitch. You beat the cleanup hitter. That was at 94. Good first inning for Drew Pomeranz. Dexter Fowler will lead things off for the Rockies. 27 games this year in the leadoff role. He's hit .337, and he's got an on-base percentage of .421 in that spot. That's terrific. Here's the rest of Jim Tracy's batting order presented by Southwest Airlines. Scudero, Giambi, the big man, will bat third. Kadire, Colvin, Pacheco, Herrera, Nieves, and Pomeranz. Don't forget, Drew Pomeranz owns a home run in that 9th spot this year.
Kip Wells on the hill, second major league start of the season. He signed late actually with Tucson, went down and pitched in AAA, made 7 starts down there, 1-4, almost a 5 ERA. Veteran guy, he's won 67 games at the big league level. He has lost 100. His last start, 5 innings, 7 hits, a couple of runs, 3 walks. His career versus Colorado, 0-3 at Coors Field. If you don't remember, Kip Wells threw for the Rockies for a short span. He's 0-4 in his career at Coors Field, and that earned run average not very pretty. 10.89 in this ballpark.
Well, wasn't it in St. Louis? I'll get back to that story in a moment.
Did very well in St. Louis.
Yeah, he ended up pitching the Rockies opener because the first day got rained out. Jesus Guzman, Cameron Maben, Kristen Orpia in the outfield. Headley, Amarista, Forsythe, and Alonso the infield, and Yasmani Grandal is behind the plate. Remember that there was a postponement, so Kip Wells ended up.
Jeff Francis actually started opening day and got hit pretty hard in that start, and then the next day they had to cancel the game completely. And the next day Kip came out on the mound and made the start for the Rockies. And yeah, he pitched decent for him, and then all of a sudden things started blowing up a little bit and got traded. Used to be a hard thrower when he came out of Baylor. I mean, he was 92 to 96. As a veteran guy now, has learned how to pitch a little bit more. He'll sink, still has the curveball slider mixed with it.
214 start for the 35-year-old Wells. And this ball's lifted to left field fairly deep. Actually, he got all the way to the warning track before Guzman could make the catch.
Well, the Padres are in a mode where they've had some injuries to some of their younger starters. The guys that are on the move there, mostly down in high A and double A, not ready to pitch here at this level. So Wells was a good fit for them. He went to AAA as a good soldier, as a 35-year-old, put up some numbers, and then Josh Burns with some injuries, needed to get some help at the big league level. They chose Kip to come back. Good for him.
Scudero takes a strike. Home plate umpire is Vic Carapazza. Bill Welke at first, Jeff Nelson at second, Chris Caccioni's at third. Rockies won 10-2 on Friday. Again, lost 8-4 yesterday. That's in there, 0-2. He was a pitcher's duel going in the 6th inning yesterday. 2-1 Colorado. Friedrich had pitched well. And things blew up on Jeremy Guthrie and then Adam Ottavino.
Yeah, Ottavino, one of the few mistakes he's made this entire year coming out of the bullpen. He's been pretty special.
One-two on Marco, and that's fouled off. Two balls, two strikes. Rockies yesterday, with their loss, snapped a little 2-game win streak. They have not won 3 straight since late May. This ball's fouled off. Marco's 9 for his last 24 at the plate. By the way, welcome everybody to the month of July 2012. June is history, and June, unfortunately, a similar month to May. The Rockies were 10-18 in May. They went 9-18 in June. I said this the other day, George. What did the Padres do wrong? 29-41 on the road.
Somebody spanked him, put him in the corner, told him they couldn't come out for a while.
I guess, as you described Friday for Bud Black's team, the good news is they'll be spending a lot of time in Southern California in the second half of the year. Happy birthday to Bud Black. Yesterday turned 55, and he knows how to celebrate his birthday. He's now 5-0 on his birthday in his managerial career. Shallow left, and this one will drop.
All the way back April 1st, 2008 at St. Louis. 5 1/3 innings for Mr. Wells. 4 hits, a run, 1 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Came out and had that nasty slider working for the most part of the day. The catching helped out behind the plate with a throw out at second base. It was a good night for the Rockies and a good night for Kip Wells.
So a bloop single for Scudero, and here's Jason Giambi. The shortstop Amarista playing right up the middle. The second baseman playing about a half a step onto the grass. A modified double play depth for Logan Forsythe. Outfield is deep, and they're bunching the gaps.
So Giambi's 4 for 9, 444 with 4 walks, only 2 strikeouts against Wells. He remembers.
That's a called strike, 1-1.
But as guys get older, you know, new tricks start to happen a little bit. Maybe when they had all this was going on before, he threw all sinkers away. You know, maybe it was all breaking balls. So that first time to get a look at him, if you're Giambi, you've had success.
And this ball is well hit, but it is right at Kristen Orfia. 2 outs. That'll bring up Michael Kadire. So Todd Helton, 2 of the last 3 ball games, not in the starting lineup. Todd was in the lineup yesterday. And you could see more of this going forward. And Todd's not having a great year. He's hitting right around 250. And the reason I say that is Tyler Colvin has forced his way into the picture. And you're not going to sit down Michael Kadire.
Or Dexter.
You know, or certainly Dexter Fowler. So to get Colvin some at-bats, they'll probably come at the expense of Helton.
Well, if you work the rotation the right way, when Dexter needs a day, Colvin goes in. Kadire needs a day, Colvin goes in. Dodd needs a day, Colvin goes in. So you can get him those 3 to 4 days a week of playing time and keep some of your older veteran guys a little wetter rested.
Ball and a strike on Kadire. Michael's done a good job of continuing to drive in runs, even though the last couple of weeks the average has been down.
Well, what he told me today, and had a discussion about American League, National League, and difference in pitchers and all those things. And one thing he said to me, you can see an arm here if he can work it, and he does. I'll get back into the Kadire thing when he comes up again, but he felt like American League pitchers really throw in a lot. National League guys go away.
How about that throw by Amarista? Get Kadire by half a step. We'll go to the second, no score. What a day yesterday for Cuban native and University of Miami product Yasmani Grandal. They got the silent treatment. His first career hit, a home run. 6th inning from the left side now, and he goes deep to put the Padres up 3-2. And when he got to the dugout, the more conventional celebration. First 2 hits in the big leagues in his first career start, a home run from both sides of the plate, no less.
Yeah, he filled up a lot of categories yesterday.
And it's not a fluke, George. This kid tore it up in the minor leagues. He came in the Latos deal from Cincinnati. He's got a great looking swing on both sides of the dish.
Well, when a guy continues to beat the ball like Rizzo did a year ago, you got to give him a chance. You got to see what they do. And the other thing that helped them a little bit was with Hundley struggling so poorly at the big league level. They sent him back just to take a step back, take a breath, get yourself under it. But the way this kid swung the bat early, it might be a difficult task coming back.
1-2. Here's our all copy fun fact brought to you by All Copy Products. Yasmani Grandal, the first player in big league history to have his first 2 hits be home runs from both sides of the plate. 6th player. He is a strikeout victim here. 6th player since '74 with a multi-home run game in his first big league start. And he's the 109th player in National League history with a home run from both sides of the plate in the same game. And the last to do it was Dexter back in September of last season. So all of that for Grandal. in his first career start. What do you do for an encore?
That's kind of tough, huh?
I guess. And here's another University of Miami product, Yonder Alonso.
So what happens at the end of the year if you still have 2 home runs? They go, God, when did you get those? Well, first game. Didn't do much after that.
Do you
Start chasing high fastballs.
Listen, he has a story, right?
Oh, he's got a great story.
No matter what happens the rest of the career, he's got one heck of a story.
Yeah, and he got the ball back. That was the neat part.
He got the first one back, yeah.
Another hot day in Denver, but there's a lot of, if you came to the park in the last couple of days or last week, folks, you saw an awful lot of kids in the 12 to 16-year-old range, some 17-year-old that here at the ballpark for the first time. Well, there's a national softball tournament going on right now, so just an invasion of girls softball all over. And I talked to one of the girls in my hotel lobby today, and I asked her, I said, how's it going? She said, well, I got 4 today, and then we're heading to Vancouver. So, I mean, they are on the circuit to play some top national softball. And then you also got a lot of Little League tournaments going on right now. So you got a nice influx of young kids here at the ballpark, and it's great to see.
Absolutely.
It's not hard when you look up and you see all these guys in the same shirt.
Somewhat indicative of probably being on the same team. Alonso held up.
You know what was pretty neat today, too? There's a young man by the name of Rob walked up to me and he said, I met you and Drew a couple of years ago at the Boys Club when you guys came out and do the clinic with the Rockies and everything. And he said, I work there now. He said, you guys your group of root sports people gave me a big influence of what was going on and how I could help. Because he said, I worked there an awful lot. I was there as a kid growing up. And he said, now I'm working there as a counselor and someone working in the recreational department. But that was neat to hear that out front this morning as a visit with a couple of fans, and he was one of them.
That's
sports
great.
involvement with.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, with the Boys Club and Girls Club of America. Have someone come up as a pretty good testament to what's going on. That's neat.
Fastball at 94 just missed. So Alonso walks, and that'll bring up Cameron Maben.
Stolen base, and they did it relatively easy, but it was also a pitch down and in, a cutter, hard pitch to handle.
That ball's in, ball 1 on Maben.
Surprisingly, Maben only hits 165 against left-handers.
That's a strike. Maben a year ago hit 264, 9 home runs, 40 driven in. So it got him the long-term deal.
Hey, it looked like a great deal, and it probably still will be. This is a very good talent in Cameron Maben. In 5 years, $25 million. At at the time when Josh Burns was able to get it done, if he would have projected out, done what everybody thought he would have been done, it would have cost you a whole lot more money.
Way inside, that hit him. So Pomerantz upset with himself, and Cameron Maben trying to walk it off. Will go to first. There'll be 2 on and 1 out.
And here comes that cutter slash hard slider coming hard out of the hand. The Nieves set up inside, but it caught the shin of Maben.
That'll bring up Alexi Amarista. Told the story on Friday night, George. He and Jose Altuve went back to back, and it was a dead heat, shall we say. They were both the same height.
10.5 feet, 11 feet of people with a lot of home runs. That's what you wanted to say.
He got fooled there, but these 2 guys, Altuve, who's an all-star, by the way, named today, representing Houston, they got a lot of pop. He hit a home run yesterday to dead center field, and then he hit a home run to right center field. The first 3-run home run for the Padres all year. And this ball's well struck to left field. Colvin, middle of the track, makes the catch. The throw coming into third. Oh! Pacheco could have held that throw. He would have had Alonso.
And he did the right thing. What he was trying to do is really catch and slam the tag quickly, because you're on the outfield side of third base, so your distance to the player is a little bit farther as the runner's coming in. So he's got to go out. He goes out 2 steps to meet the ball. So what he's going to do, he's going to ride the ball with the glove to apply the tag. See how it all kind of coming together. Snapped a little too quick and out of the glove. Everybody's safe.
That's where you wish you had a little more velocity on the baseball.
Yeah, so he just closed a little bit earlier and hit the outside of everything. Maybe you'd have had him.
Kip Wells at the plate. Runners at second and third, and 2 gone.
How'd that feel?
Felt fine to me. Probably not as good though to Kip.
You know, on that play there, I'm just looking out there to see the advancement of the runners, and he's close. I mean, I guess you like the gamble if you're Bud Black, but if you get thrown out at third base, you got your pitcher leading off the next inning.
I see it both ways, George. You're right. You don't want to make the third out at third base. We all understand that. The other side of it is, and I know they scored 8 runs yesterday. It's just the 7th time all year they've scored 8 or more in a game. Bud Black's probably got to push the edge of the envelope to get runs with this club.
Well, on the other side, too, may very well be the fact that that you're also thinking maybe wild pitch, get a run, steal it any way you can.
Drew Pomeranz handles the comebacker. No score, middle of 2. Tyler Colvin will lead it off for the Rockies. Who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Let's check in with Mark Stout. Mark?
Drew George, Tyler Colvin at the plate, in for Carlos Gonzalez today. Just a day of rest from Jim Tracy. Also the day he was named an All-Star. We asked the skipper to tell us how he has improved since 2010.
The biggest stride that I see Carlos Gonzalez now making that maybe was just kind of in the midst or was just in the infant stages and so it wasn't all that noticeable is his strike zone discipline is getting better with each and every day that he plays. And if in fact Carlos Gonzalez, and I think as we go along during the season as a result of that, there are more base on balls, there's going to be more runs scored, so statistically other numbers are going to go up.
Got to think back to 2010 when he was third in the MVP race. He's improved that much. And guys, Jim Tracy also said Carlos Gonzalez, one of the most graceful players he has ever managed. And now, finally, it seems like he was, but finally an All-Star. Drew George?
Should have been an All-Star.
Yeah, he should have been probably 2 years ago as well. We ended up winning the National League batting title. I'm just really happy for him. It's well deserved, and he'll represent the organization and the state and the region very, very well. Tyler Colvin against Kip Wells in the second, and that pitch misses, ball one. That's a good pitch by Wells.
Good sinker. Really ran down and away.
How do y'all say it again in Oklahoma?
Sanker.
S-A-N-K-E-R.
Sanker. Good running tailing fastball with downward movement. How's that? Is that better?
No, I like sanker. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is going to move into the seats. Out of play. Here's the All-Star starters as voted on by some informed fans, and maybe not all informed fans. Carlos Beltran's having a great year. He deserves to start. We'll see him the next 4 days in St. Louis. Matt Kemp. Now, I love Matt Kemp, but he's been out most of this first half.
Well, Los Angeles, a lot of people making a lot of votes. I understand. I get it.
Melky Cabrera's had a terrific year. Pablo Sandoval was down almost 500,000 votes to David Wright and overtook him. So the Giant fans really stuffed the ballot box of late. Furcal will be the starting shortstop. Tulowitzki ended up, by the way, finishing third. And of course, Troy's been hurt most of the first half. Dan Uglett second. Joey Votto, no question, should be there at first base. And Buster Posey wins the vote behind the plate.
And you may be looking for a first baseman because Votto yesterday in the ballgame strained a knee running up the first baseline. So I'm sure that he's not going to go play in an all-star game if there's any chance to not have the knee heal the way it needs to.
And he said it's not that serious, but you're right, George. We'll see. Now, if he plays again in a couple of days and is okay, then perhaps we'll see Votto in the all-star game. Jordan Pacheco with 1 out. We'll check the reserves here in a moment. Ooh, look out. 2-strike count. The reserve, Starlin Castro, will represent the Cubs along with Brian LaHair, who's had a really nice season. Jay Bruce will go from Cincinnati. Cargo naturally. Jose Altuve, well deserved. He's had a great year for the Astros. Giancarlo Stanton hit another home run yesterday for Miami. Ryan Braun, who was one of the top 3 vote getters until the last round. David Wright, Carlos Ruiz, McCutchen. You could make a case he could start. Molina, same thing. Ian Desmond, who we just saw with Washington, deserving. Check the pitchers here in a moment as well. 1 and 2 on Pacheco. You know what he did yesterday, George?
Pacheco?
Yeah.
Oh, he got a base hit.
Yeah, he always does that.
I know he extended.
Yeah.
And?
He walked twice.
Again.
He had 7 walks coming in. He walked twice in yesterday's ball game. Here are the pitchers, because George, I don't know if you realize this, you got to have pitchers.
Normally, I don't think you're going to put a pitching machine out there.
Nope. So Kershaw goes with the Dodgers. Last time I checked, he's pretty good. Craig Kimbrell, what a great closer he is for Atlanta. The hard-throwing Aroldis Chapman, Gio Gonzalez, Strasburg, Cole Hamels, Papelbon. Wade Miley represents Arizona. R.A. Dickey. He could start that thing, couldn't he, George?
And should. I just voted on for pitcher of the month. 5-0, 48 1/3, 22 hits, 8 walks, 55 strikeouts.
With an and I was
0.96 ERA.
Yeah, you and I were both voting. And the first thing I look at is ERAs to see who's what.
Crazy.
I see something. I'm like, okay.
Well, 48 innings.
This guy's got to be it.
Only 8 walks. He's a knuckleballer.
And he's 5-0 in the month of June. And again, congrats to Houston Street going for San Diego. A strikeout of Pacheco, 2 outs for Kip Wells. Coming up in the 6th inning, Toyota Talk. Here's how you involve yourself. Text Toyota followed by a space and then your comments to 720-720. Okay, he's on the concourse. I was worried that he was in that one way up on the platform 485 feet from home plate. Johnny Herrera hits it to the first baseman Yonder Alonso, and that's a good inning for Kip Wells. 1, 2, 3. off to inning number 3 on a Sunday at Coors Field. Beautiful Sunday afternoon, no score. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Ford Super Duty. Built stronger, built better, built Ford tough. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By King Soopers, more value for the way you live. And by Comcast, advertise your business locally on the network People Watch. We can help grow your business. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. Ride your bike to the ballpark today. And since we're traveling after the game, I had to bring my luggage. George headed back to Tulsa.
I brought mine.
And therefore, George able to ride into the ballpark today, thanks to the young legs. That's great, Frazier. Get to the ballpark. You don't use gas. Get a little exercise.
I look for all the downhill roads.
Do you?
Work good.
You didn't even have to pedal much, huh?
No. Get it started. Hang on.
There you go. You're a smart dude. Chris Denorfi at the plate, and he takes strike 1. Like what you've seen so far from Drew Pomeranz?
Well, I do. What I'm impressed by is his ability to throw inside and do it very effectively with that cutter. Well, if they get this thing pulled off, boy.
That would have been something. Johnny did a great job just to be able to stab the baseball after Pacheco was cutting in front. Kind of all you can get for a third baseman. This was just hitting the right spot.
It is hitting the right spot. And you don't think Pacheco's going to make, if he doesn't make the play, you got no chance. And I don't care if Troy's playing shortstop. It is very difficult with all your momentum going the other way. Johnny, valiant effort. Safe by about 4 or 5 feet.
Chris Denorfia over the last month hitting above 360. So he's on a leg hit. He's a threat to go at first. Logan Forsythe. Pretty good hit and run man also, George.
That's why he's hitting second in the lineup. He's got a little bit of pop in his bat, but he's also got the ability to go to the right side and do it very well. And coming out of Arkansas, before they changed the bats, he would show you a lot more power. And getting into the wood bats, he's transformed himself into a very good average hitter, meaning his average is going to sit in the 260, 270 range. Going to get a few base hits. It's at 280 right now.
He takes off, and Nieves with a good throw, but it skipped into center field. Not handled by Scutero, and it's a stolen base by Denorfi. And that's one thing that we've noticed. Teams have really taken advantage of Pomeranz.
Long arm action. When you pick the head up and it goes back, it becomes a very long arm action, which allows a longer release time to the plate. Runners can take advantage of it. That ball either was missed by Scutero. I couldn't really tell on that replay, but it either skipped onto the bag or skipped right underneath the glove.
See how Pomerantz handles this situation. 2-0, runner in scoring position, nobody out. 2-hole, and wow, that's a special pitch, but you got to get it out. High throw, and now we got a little circus going on. It's going to go up the line. Coming home is Chris DeNorfia, and it's 1-0 San Diego. You can't make a better pitch than that. Nobody caught that in the air. And then a bad throw.
Yep, nobody feels worse right now than Pacheco. It's his 6th error of the year. DeNorfia, you know what was funny? When the play was going to be made, he'd kind of locked up there. Change up out of the hand. Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo shows that. They got right in on the label. Full swing. The ball doesn't travel 60 feet. Pomerantz breaks for it, backs away from it. Pacheco, not a very good grip, just airmailed it.
Chase Headley at the plate.
From a different view for you at home, Pacheco comes after. I just don't think he got the right grip on the baseball, and then as he started to throw it, obviously sailed very high.
Now the runner was going to cross over. It should be 1 out and a runner at third base. Instead, it's a run in, nobody out, and a man at first.
And it extends more pitches for Pomerantz.
Right now, it's an unearned run, depending on what happens the rest of this inning. Chase Headley at the plate.
Forsythe's getting a little bit of attention. The stolen base in his first at bat. Got into scoring position. DeNorfia with a stolen base. His 5th. So Pomerantz aware of that, making a couple of throws to first base.
They pitch out, nothing doing. It's just off the plate. 2-1 on Headley. He's tough out. He has a good eye. And he'll hit the ball from foul line to foul line. A lot of broken bats so far from Drew Pomerantz. Forsythe takes off, and this throw is not going to get him. They're 3 for 3 stealing bases against Pomerantz, and that should not happen against a left-handed pitcher.
Not so easily done. I think that's the other side of it. It shouldn't happen so easy against Pomerantz. But when he picks the leg up, with that long arm action to the backside, that buys time. That's almost an extra tick on the stopwatch for them to get in there. Head first slide, the tag coming, a throw right on the money from Nieves. That part and the catch couldn't have been any better. The Forsythe's hand in on that outside part of the bag to avoid being called out.
Well, do you remember a little meeting at the mound? Real quickly, George, you remember earlier in the year when Pomerantz took on Arizona, Eric Young, first base coach, guys were stealing left and right. Gerardo Parra stole second and third in back-to-back pitches. Chris Young had a stolen base. Teams are now 7 for 8 stealing bases against Drew Pomerantz.
And being left-handed, there's okay, you want to give, I wouldn't give 50%. I would think anything above 30% success against a left-hander is not good. Not just Pomerantz, but anybody. Any left-hander on the mound.
Ground ball gets you out of it. Guzman hit a ground ball to second his first time. 2 walks allowed by Pomerantz. The numbers were good in Colorado Springs, a low ERA in the 2s for Drew Pomeranz. The only place you'd nitpick a little bit, and it's probably not even nitpicking, it's legitimate, George, is high pitch counts for Drew.
Well, nitpicking's a good way to put it, because he's nitpicking around the zone.
Right.
You know, and I mean, that's where the pitch count gets up. And that becomes just a matter of trusting your stuff. I mean, Bo McLaughlin's going to go out and visit because he's got 41 pitches, 22 strikes, 19 balls. The outs he's getting on good pitches in.
Well, let's take a look while that meeting takes place.
I mean, I think this is all Texas and New York and Detroit.
Pretty much.
There you go.
Jose Bautista, he's deserving, leads baseball in home runs. Josh Hamilton, enough said there. Curtis Granderson, he deserves it to go. Adrian Beltre, Derek Jeter, Robbie Cano, Prince Fielder, Big Papi, and Mike Napoli will be your American League starters in the Midsummer Classic. Here are the reserves of position players. Adam Jones with Baltimore. Wieters, their catcher, goes also. Adam Dunn, what a bounce back year for big Adam Dunn. Happy for him, good guy. Paul Konerko, there's Drupal Cabrera, Miguel Cabrera. I'll show you the rest of the list in a moment. And this could be two. Roll to Pacheco. There's one on to first, and Guzman beat it. So it'll be first and third, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Yasmani Grandal. Here's the rest of that list. Mike Trout's going. Good for him. He deserves to go.
Probably deserves to be starting.
Angels. He's something else. Mark Trumbo deserves to be there. Joe Mauer, Elvis Andrus, Ian Kinsler for Texas. I'll show you the pitchers in a moment. I said 2 outs a moment ago. Forgive me. There's 1 out. Here's the staff for Ron Washington. Matt Harrison, his left-hander, will go. Joe Nathan, his closer. Felix Hernandez, King Felix. Ryan Cook, Justin Verlander, Sabathia, Wilson, Jared Weaver, closer for Baltimore. Jim Johnson, Chris Sale, Chris Perez, closer for Cleveland. Fernando Rodney. And the big lefty David Price from Tampa. This is shallow left center. Dexter can throw, and Forsythe coming down the line, throws on line, out at the plate. What a throw by Dexter Fowler. What a perfect throw by Dexter Fowler. Yeah, stand up and applaud. So the Rockies give up a run in the inning. The error obviously did not help. Dexter makes sure it's just a 1-run lead. innings in the top of the third. George, we always talk on defense. Do your work early. Watch Dex.
Well, and I really was surprised that San Diego would test the arm. I didn't think that was a throw that you would test somebody on. It's not that deep in the outfield. Dexter's momentum's coming towards the plate. That even helped him that much more. I mean, he's out by a good 10, 15 feet. When the throw came to the plate, a good catch and tag by Nieves at home plate. I mean, we see Dexter's arm a lot. Obviously, the scouting report on Dexter's arm, and I get it. I mean, the Padres are struggling to score runs, so push the envelope a little bit more.
Will Nieves out of the 8th spot in the lineup to face Kip Wells. Nice tag by Will a moment ago. Kip spotted that fastball pretty well so far in the first couple of innings. Decent little slider also. Pomerantz is on deck, 8, 9, and 1. Today was family day for the Rockies players. A little wiffle ball game going on the field prior to the ball game.
We're just doing things here at the yard, letting the kids run around a little bit and have fun. Nothing different than what they do at home.
Yeah.
Just a little bigger grass to play on.
That's right. Will and his wife have a baby girl. And Nieves on the ground to second.
Wells getting you to do just what he wants. Ball's on the ground.
1 out. Pomerantz coming up, looking to save energy and money. Find out how the little changes add up at TogetherWeSave.com, your local Touchstone Energy cooperative, delivering reliable power, energy saving tools, and more. So big Drew Pomerantz steps into the box. Drew 6'5" and about 240 pounds. Demonstrated at Georgia earlier in the year when he hit a home run.
Well, and you go down into the minor leagues, you play against National League teams, you hit. So it's not like you just totally abandon the idea of swinging the bat unless you're in the big leagues.
And he hits it on the ground to Yonder Alonso. Two outs, nobody on. That'll bring up Dexter.
Kip Wells is throwing 9 balls here. 2 2/3 innings. I mean, everything around the plate really sinking the baseball. That's why he's getting so many ground ball outs. That is called being efficient.
Strike on Fowler. Dexter just 4 for 27 this year against Padres pitching. Yesterday he was 1 for 5. He had a bunt single.
Got a young catcher behind the plate too. He's really working both corners. It probably works well with Wells because they were both in AAA together in Tucson. Wells threw 38 innings there over 7 starts.
And this ball is driven to right field down the line, and it is off the wall. Dexter to second, and he's not stopping. Here's a throw to third. Another triple for Fowler. His 9th of the year. And you know what he didn't do there, which he did yesterday, and it cost him running the bases. He didn't look around, George. You know he has that tendency to look behind him.
Yeah, you don't trust what you're getting told by a third base coach. It cost him yesterday to get thrown out. On the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, trying to throw that slider down and into that back foot. Dexter, good job. Hands pulled inside, right on that belly button area. Dropped the head of the bat right off the screen, and then it was off to the races. Dexter made that turn at third. It wasn't a wide turn either. He shortened his turn up. Still a close play at third.
Marco Scutaro, 2 outs, tying run at third base. Outside on Marco.
Not only a 2-out base hit, but a 0-2 2-out triple. Taking advantage of a mistake made by Wells.
Dex Frage now 1 away from tying our old friend Nathy Perez all-time triples mark in a Rockies uniform. Dexter's got 48. This ball's well hit to right, going back to Norfia. He's going to make the catch. Good ride, but hit it in the wrong direction. So Fowler left at third, 1-0 Padres off to the fourth. A 1-0 lead as we go to the fourth inning. Yonder Alonso will begin things for the Padres against Drew Pomerantz. AT&T trivia question reads this way today. Carlos Gonzalez was named to his first All-Star game earlier. Who has the most All-Star appearances in Rockies history? Think about that. We'll provide you with an answer in a little while. Alonso walked in the second inning, and he gets a snappy curveball. It's a little low. He throws that knuckle curve, George.
Some guys can throw it and have really good command, not as much wear and tear against you. But sometimes you have a tendency when that's why they nickname it also a spike curveball, because you spike it in the ground a lot. You get a lot of swing and misses on it, though.
Are you ever concerned if you have that hitters can identify it?
Depends on where your arm angle comes out of the glove. To see the knuckle up on top is what Drew's talking about. Whether you see that up on top of the baseball, sometimes obviously it would become very apparent that they can see it and adjust to it.
A spear lands right around Giambi. That was the head of the bat. Alonso's out on the ground ball to Herrera. Boy, he has broke. What would you say that is, 5, George? Broken bats?
At least 5. I mean, there haven't been too many balls hit hard in this game against Drew Pomerantz. Mike Shaw, Subaru Supermo will show you exactly where this ball makes contact. Right off the end of the bat, and everything just shatters and blows up. Ball started out, the hitter apparently thought he had a pretty good beat on it, and ends up off the end of the bat.
To third, Pacheco, even with the bag, throws out Maben, 2 outs. Now here's the final 5 voting in each league. American League, Jonathan Broxton, Yu Darvish, all pitchers. Ernesto Frieri, the former Rocky Jason Hamill, having a very good year with Baltimore. Jake Peavy, former Padre with the White Sox. And on the National League side, Michael Bourne, David Freese, Bryce Harper, Aaron Hill, Chipper Jones. This, from a sentimental standpoint, Chipper announced before the start of the year this is his final season. There's a drag bunt attempt, and Pomeranz will throw out Amarista. That's a very quick and efficient fourth inning. So again, sentimentally, you'd love to see Chipper at the Midsummer Classic. 1-0.
Summer afternoon at Coors Field. Rockies hitting here in the bottom of the fourth, trailing 1-0. Jason Giambi in today for Helton and hitting third because Carlos Gonzalez now playing. I'm going to show you a list that includes Carlos Gonzalez's name on it. It's our Chevy's Dare to Compare today. Chevy's full lineup of vehicles makes it the clear winner that the competition can't compare. Chevy made for Colorado. This is all about speed and power, and then speed without power. You see the guys that have stolen bases, double digits without a home run. Eric Young Jr.'s on that list with 10. Tony Campagna of the Cubs has 25 steals and no homers. And then there are the players with at least 10 home runs and 10 steals. Carlos Gonzalez already on that list this year, 17 and 10. Those are the double-double guys that Drew and George can get it done, the 5-tool players for the most part.
Yeah, Mark, thank you. It's good to be on that list on the right. What a year Andrew McCutcheon's had also for surprising Pittsburgh. Giambi lined out to right his first time up. 1-1 the count, facing Kip Wells. Saw a great deal of humility. One of the final five candidates, Yu Darvish, already won 10 ball games in his rookie year for Texas, has wipeout stuff. George, he said, I'm not deserving of being an all-star.
10 wins. He just feels like high earned run average. The park he's pitching in, you know what? There's still 10 wins.
I think some of that is he's just deferring to guys who've been around a lot longer than he has. This popped up. And the catch is made by Amarista, the shortstop. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. That'll bring up Kadire. Amarista took a hit from Kadire on a ground ball deep in the hole. If you were doing as scouts are down there, George, rating arm strength, Amarista would get a plus grade.
With accuracy plus of velocity of the baseball across the middle of that infield. Cincinnati here advancing the Padres.
So Dexter Fowler's second assist of this season a while ago. Kadire leads the Rockies with 5 assists in the outfield.
Hey, ask about the Rockies buy one get one free private suite offer. Date still available for the rest of the season. Pick up the phone and call right now. 303 Rockies for more information, or ColoradoRockies.com. 2 for the price of 1.
Kip Wells hung a pitch, but he hung that in the inner half, so it's just a long foul ball.
Well, that's it. And when Dyer was up earlier, I talked about that he said in the National League they fed him away constantly, and he's got to where he got pretty comfortable. The average was there. They went back to interleague, and then all of a sudden everybody started pounding him in again. He had to readjust. He's starting to get it going again, looking away. Not this time. He chased a breaking ball in the dirt. Kip Wells right now is looking like the guy he did when he was like 21 years old. Spotting up his fastball, putting the breaking ball where he wants to, showing change-ups.
He's allowed 2 hits. The Scudero single in the first, which was a Texas leaguer, and then Dexter's triple with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Tyler Colvin, way out in front, rolled the ground ball to Forsythe at second. Colvin hitting .368 over his last 15 ball games, including 5 home runs, 17 driven in. He's thrown in 5 doubles and 2 triples to boot. And this ball's driven to left center field, and it's going to touch down. It'll be a double for Colvin with 2 outs. He continues to utilize the entire ballpark.
3 hits by the Rockies. 2 extra base hits have come with 2 outs and behind in the count. So a mistake made by Wells, but then they make you pay for it. Fastball that was down and away. I tell you, Tyler Colvin has been a joy to watch swing the bat. This whole entire season hasn't really hit one of those rough spots. He might go an 0 for 4 one day, but bounce back with a very good average the next day. Pacheco 3rd among National League third basemen in average, right at 359. Sandoval 307. Pacheco 3rd at 303. He leads all National League rookies with the 303 average.
Rockies trailing 1-0. This game somewhat mirroring the first few innings of yesterday's affair. That's a called strike, and they check it out at third at first with Bill Welke. Yeah, yesterday, Georgia, was 2-1 going to the 6th inning. I know it ended up 8-4, but a similar complexion to this game early on. Wells has pitched well, and so has Pomerantz. 0-1 on Pacheco.
They both kept it on the ground throughout the game. I think that's been the key to their success. Heavy sinkers, good sliders. Pitches when behind and counts. Pacheco's got an average of 348 with runners in scoring position.
Tyler, see at second base, he's doing the same thing out on the road. And he's hit 275 out on the road.
He and Pacheco probably the 2 most consistent road hitters on the team.
And Gonzalez as well. Cargo at 276. Colvin 275, and Pacheco, his split's almost identical. I think he's at 295. Is that what you have, George, on the road?
Looking it up as we speak. Home and away right now. Colvin 333, 274 away. Oh, hit hard, but he'll be knocked down and a play made. Gonzalez, by the way, 390 at home, 276 out on the road.
1-0 San Diego. We'll go to the 5th. Efficiency inning. How about the fourth inning for Drew Pomeranz? Yonder Alonso would hit a broken bat roller to Johnny Herrera. That's the first out. Cameron Maben swung at the first pitch, and he hit a roller right to the third baseman, Jordan Pacheco. And Alexi Amarista tried to bunt his way on. That didn't work out. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com.
And a fourth inning, too. A very quick inning for Pomeranz. Kept his pitch count at 50 as he enters here into the fifth inning. And I don't, what he used to talk about, well, it's getting close to 100. It's getting close to this. Well, it's, you know what? The cast has been laid out there, so now the characters have to figure out a way to live within the storyline. So you're looking at 25 pitches away from probably somebody getting up in the bullpen.
See if he can have another quick, efficient inning. Kip Wells will lead things off. Comebacker his first time. Wells has been a decent hitter in his career. 4 home runs, 17 RBIs. Two and 0. We're talking about splits, George, home and road. The guys splits that really jump out at you are Willeen Rosario. There's Baby Bull, who's hit a couple of home runs in this series. He's hitting .301 out on the road, .201 at home. Or .206, I should say, at home.
Well, and part of that is he's had a little less hits, or bats, I should say, out on the road. Same number of hits, 22-21. 8 home runs, 5 here at out on the road. But just 73 at bats away from Coors Field, where he's had 102 here. That's why they averaged down a little bit. But he is nearly 100 points separation.
And then on the home side, Todd Helton's hit over .350 in his career at Coors Field. He's not getting that boost he normally gets. He's hitting just .256 at home this year, .233 out on the road. Chris Denorfia in infield hitting a stolen base in the third inning. Well, every day it's been 90 plus. In fact, we had a 100-degree first pitch game, hottest ever at Coors Field. Makes you want to just jump off the concourse into the pond in center field, doesn't it?
Kind of comfy looking out there. Well, at least stick your feet in, let the water run around a little bit. Ducks are still in. See, there they are. They're playing right by the fence. See them?
It's very peaceful out there.
See the ducks? Can you imagine 40,000 people in there? It's 93 right now. Those ducks don't even know anybody's in the house. Well, you're hitting the road. Subscribe to MLB.tv to every Rockies out-of-market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at the house. Make sure you do that at MLB.tv.
Fountain's hoping for a Coors Field home run today. 1-2 on Denorfia. Chance for Michael Kadire. 2 outs. Think about this, Frazier. Now at the 4-man rotation, there's been some reshuffling of the deck, as we know. Rockies have a 4-man rotation of all southpaws.
That doesn't happen often, if ever. I'm trying to think back. I mean, I can't even think of it. You hope to have 1 lefty in your lineup, maybe 2. If you really think you got something going, now they got 4 of them going.
Francis Friedrich, Pomeranz back in there, Outman.
Tell you what, this is where, you know, quite honestly, if I was still playing, I'd say I'll be the piggyback guy. How many games you got to come into in the fifth in a 1-0 game and get 2 or 3 innings in and get a W out of it and help your team win all the time? I mean, now because it used to be kind of the untold, or really the unsung position in the bullpen, the guys that worked the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. Those were guys that, you know, never got the headlines. You don't get a lot of the categories. But now all of a sudden, you become probably the most important part of the bullpen to be able to maintain the ball game. Yesterday they didn't do it, but maintain the ball game and give your guys a chance. Really nice inning again for Pomeranz. 61 pitches total now, and he's through 5.
That's 8 in a row set down by Drew Pomeranz. Who's that Padre out there contemplating taking a dip? Colorado, take a look at the road ahead, powered by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Step up to the plate, get more miles per gallon with the hottest car line in America, Hyundai. The week before the All-Star break, we'll take the Rockies through St. Louis Mo and then on to our nation's capital to take on the Nationals. This is Save Responsibly when you shop at your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Check it out at coloradohyundai.com. Rockies trying to get something going against Kip Wells. They have a single, a double, and a triple in the game.
Well, let's go and get Cycle out of the way then.
Yeah, well,
Johnny hit a home run.
Johnny's done that a little bit this year, hasn't he?
Just saying. Why not?
7, 8, 9 for the Rockies against Wells, and the changeup misses, ball 1.
The hardest thing for a manager to recognize about Kip Wells, when it goes fast. You can't get fooled by 4 innings of shutout baseball. If he works out and gets through your 5th inning and you're Bud Black, be happy you got 5 and then head for the bullpen. When it disappears, velocity goes away, location goes away, everything starts to hit in a negative fashion. Obvious here, 2 straight balls, 1 a hanging breaking ball, 1 a fastball. But behind in the count for one of the first times today.
2-0 on Johnny and 3-0 on Herrera.
6 ground outs, 4 fly outs, and a couple of strikeouts for Kip Wells. 89 miles an hour at the last fastball. Missed low in the strike zone.
So Johnny will be taken here, and that pitch is outside. Ball 4. Herrera, a leadoff walk. First time the Rockies have had the leadoff man on in this baseball game. To make room for Drew Pomeranz, Guillermo Moscoso was optioned back to Colorado Springs. I wanted to let you know of that roster change. Will Nieves up. Deep in the hole, and they still get the force. That was well done by Logan Forsythe.
You know what? I thought he was going to go ahead and let the runner go to second. He'd make the play at first. You talk about quick feet. Watch how fast he moves his feet to set himself, and then a strike to second base. Just strike.
Yeah,
I mean, this is perfect performance by him.
Jim Tracy's arguing, George, that the shortstop Amarista wasn't on the bag. And it was, but you know what? He actually was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Backside of the bag. I don't know what he's hopping for with the guy not around him.
Yeah, he hopped about a minute late.
See, got the glove, ball in, toes on the end of the bag. That was a good play.
And when Johnny came off the field, Johnny did the same, did the hop. But infielders will do that when they're taught, get your spikes out of the dirt. But he was about 10 seconds late doing that. So Nieves at first, 1 out. Pomerantz at the plate. Oh and 1. Here's the 0-1, and Pomerantz offered at it. Oh, there's an angry fan, George.
There is. Where is he?
Yeah, some guy yelled, "You've been bunting your whole life. Get it down." If it was that easy, huh?
The only thing I say about it, if it was that easy, you probably wouldn't be sitting up in the stands yelling it.
Probably not.
You'd be down in uniform doing it. But I understand the frustration of the fan.
Yeah, they take the bunt off. It's going to turn into a 6-4-3 double play. So Kip Wells rolls on. 5 shutout innings at Coors Field, where he came in with a very high ERA. 1-0 Padres. Take a look at today's CenturyLink high-speed pitch, fast speed, and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. 92 for Wells, and a number of 94s from Pomerantz.
Pomerantz has thrown the ball well today, obviously. Padres so far, just a couple of hits in the ball game, but they do have that run when the errors started to occur back in the third inning. Oh, here goes Pomerantz to work in the sixth inning. He's done it very efficiently, and he will face Chase Headley, the third man in their lineup, and Jesus Guzman and Grandal will be the third hitter this inning.
Well, George, so far since the Rockies went to this four-man tandem rotation, where you've got a piggyback partner, if you will, they've had 5 what you'd call good starts. Jeff Francis has 3 of them. His last 3 have been outstanding. He has an ERA, ERA under 2. Jeff's been terrific. Christian Friedrich's thrown out 2 good ones. Yesterday, he had a 6-inning stint where he gave up 4 runs, but it was a good start. And the rest of them have not been good. The rest of them have put the manager, Jim Tracy, in a place where he's probably going to get you well before
2 1/3, 3 1/3. 3 2/3. That can't happen. If you throw strikes, you throw quality pitches, you're going to be like Pomerantz. You'll be working here in the 6th inning. He's thrown 62 pitches, 63 now, 36 for strikes.
He's allowed 2 hits, and the run he gave up is an unearned run. It was a throwing error by Jordan Pacheco that was costly in the 3rd inning.
A lot of people happy to see Cargo get his selection. And I can understand it.
See Jim Thome, George, got traded to Baltimore.
A couple of prospects, one in Double-A, one in Low-A. Both pretty good arms, but one was a very high draft pick.
That's a good move for Baltimore, and I'm sure Ruben Amaro Jr. wanted to help out the classy veteran, future Hall of Famer Jim Thome.
All you have
put
to
him
do,
in an American League team, let him DH.
Look his numbers up in Baltimore.
Aren't his numbers really good everywhere?
Well, you get 608 home runs. It usually is, but Baltimore is a place I was told that in Baltimore he really swung the bat well.
2-2, and this is a flare to short. Johnny pounds the glove, and he's got it. Man, there have been so many either broken bats or
weekly
jam. I mean, big time jam shots.
It's just been fun to watch. I'm glad to see Pomerantz come back and do just what he's done here.
So he's got the firm fastball, but he's got some cut on it to righties. 1 out, and that'll bring up Jesus Guzman. And that's fouled off. Pizza pie. What we got going here?
Dinger hat. Sure, a little ice cream. It's hot outside.
When is Tulo coming back? It's going to be a while. I walked into the ballpark this morning with Troy. He will not be accompanying the Rockies on the road trip. He'll be continuing his rehab here in Denver.
With Scotty Mariama. That's what Scotty does for the training staff.
Ball hard to handle for Nieves. It's 2-2.
67 games. He hasn't hit for a high average there, Jim Thome, but he has hit 18 home runs and has 45 RBIs in 67 games. That's what they have him for. And his leadership.
Well, I'll tell you what, in terms of Willeen Rosario and Rookie of the Year candidacy, it's legitimate. Here's the 2-2.
Well, home runs and RBIs, a position that he plays. I think that's part of it. I think he needs to cut down on the errors in the second half to help people really look at the defensive side of things. He's going to throw out people.
He's going to have to battle the.
Might have to battle his third baseman too. He's leading all rookies in average right now.
Yeah, and he's going to have to battle the marketing of one Bryce Harper in Washington, and the talent as well. Bryce, a terrific player. Here's the 3-2, ball 4. So he was ahead of Guzman, and he loses Guzman. Pitch count at 74, if you're wondering. Yasmani Grandal will come up. 3 walks and a hit batter. But the pitch count, George, today much more economical, even with that, than what he'd been doing down in AAA. There's another bleeder. Nice play by Johnny Herrera. I mean, he's eating up bats. He's like a chainsaw out there.
Well, he threw a 6-inning no-hitter down in Colorado Springs. As a matter of fact, had a stomach flu the entire ball game. Next game, he gave up a couple of runs in 5 innings. So this cutter has really worked well for him up here. They added that pitch and got a little bit away from the spike curveball as much.
Yonder Alonso with 2 outs. Alonso 7 for his last 19 at the plate. He's had trouble throwing strikes to Alonso. He's walked him once. And here comes Will Nieves.
And here comes Bo McLaughlin. Not sure why, but going out to have a visit, falling behind in the count. Pitch total at 77.
A lot of baseball left, George. We're talking about National League Rookie of the Year candidates from our Toyota text line. Kurt Neuenhuis out of Denver Christian High School, playing very well for the Mets, hitting .275, 7 home runs, 25 driven in. Bryce Harper's .274, 8 home runs, 22 driven in. Wade Miley down in Arizona, 9-4 with a .287.
Got beat up pretty good yesterday or the day before by the Cubs, but he has thrown very, very well. #1 pick for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bauer, their last year's #1 pick, is in the big league now. Trevor Bauer just made 1 start though in 4 innings.
Here's the 2-0. It's guaranteed, George. Well, it's not guaranteed, but it's. Dougie looked this up earlier. 87.835% of the time, after the pitching coach goes out, the next pitch is a strike. That's in
I don't believe
baseball
that.
history.
I don't believe that. I think it's higher.
2-2. He came up with 87.357%.
Doug, is he making that up now? He's making it up, or are you going to claim that? He's not claiming that. We need to give Doug a microphone.
Really?
He says no.
Here's the 2-2. And a ground ball to short. Johnny with the throw across the diamond to end the inning. Very well done, Drew Pomerantz. If that's all we see of him today, 6 innings, 1 unearned run. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Dexter Fowler's last time up lined a triple off the wall in right field. Unfortunately, it came with 2 outs. Marco Scudero lined out to end the inning. Bottom of the 6th already at Coors Field. The Rockies trailing 1-0. A couple markers up on the board give Drew Pomeranz a chance for his first W of the year. Dexter will lead things off, then Scudero and Giambi. Jim Tracy comes over, pats Drew Pomeranz on the back. High five from Christian Friedrich, Bo McLaughlin. A little fist bump from Jason Giambi. He was terrific, George.
He was outstanding.
And most importantly, yeah, you want to see the results. That's clear. But you also want to see the results of what he worked on for over a month down mostly with Bo McLaughlin.
I think the one thing, in looking at his line today, tells me one thing. They've talked an awful lot about pitching to contact. Because when you do have that fastball, you do have the cutter and slider, you think more about trying to strike people out than pitch to contact. And it was obvious to me today that he was pitching to contact. Here's a line drive to Denorpia. The start of the 6th inning. We've seen that a few times here today. A hard line drive hit. Dexter with a triple in his previous at bat. Rex Brothers, the left-hander, warming up down in the bullpen for the Rockies. He'll come on to pitch the 7th inning. Boy, he has been special since coming back from AAA.
Only 2 hits allowed by Drew Pomeranz. Kind of a mid-level line drive, if you will. It was not sharply hit by Logan Forsythe in the 1st inning, and then an infield hit by Chris Denorfia. That's it. And I don't recall, and I'm looking here, at a ball that was hit hard in the game against him, other than maybe Alexi Amarista in the 2nd inning hit the long fly ball to left field.
It's the only one.
Scudero hits this ball pretty well. May have been going back. And in one of the deepest portions of the ballpark, he makes the catch. Kip Wells has the first 2 out in the 6th.
Second half of the season begins July 13th with the Philadelphia Phillies. All fans will receive a Year of the Fan rally towel and a Frontier Airlines promotional card that day. Buy tickets. Phillies, July 13th, the Friday night ball game. The 1-800-388-ROCK. Or go online to ColoradoRockies.com. There's a guy I hadn't seen for a while, Yoeli Chassin. All the youngsters sitting around visiting a little bit. Nice job, Drew Pomeranz.
And tremendous job. Chassin's going to go out on a rehab in the not too distant future. Everything continues to go as it has.
I think Nicasio's along a little farther than Chassin. Nicasio will be the first one out. Chassin's probably a couple of weeks away.
Two and nothing on Giambi. Big shift on. He wouldn't give in with the fastball. It's 3-0.
One-run ball game. He knows the power of Giambi. With Kadire, 12 and 49, a strikeout and a ground out, and right on right. I'm sure that's probably what Wells is thinking about. The walk here to Giambi. Second walk in the ball game for Kip Wells.
I was wondering if Jim Tracy would make a move and insert maybe an Eric Young with 2 outs and try to gamble with 2, but instead it's Chris Nelson. So we got 3 at bats out of Giambi, and they'll go Nelson and keep Eric Young back for a more favorable situation. I say more favorable because there's 2 outs in the inning. Nelson not really a base stealer. It's ball 1 on Kadire. Darren Balsley out to the mound. We haven't answered our AT&T trivia question. Cargo named to his first All-Star game earlier today. Who has the most All-Star appearances in team history? Todd Helton with 5.
Deservedly so.
And he plays a position, it's hard to make all-star teams. There's so many good first basemen. And has been in the National League.
For a long time, Albert Pujols. Prior to that, Mark Grace, very popular player in the Chicago market. Todd was starting out in the late 90s, early 2000s. Lately, it's been Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder. His success on the field with Milwaukee. Now at Detroit, though.
On the ground, rolled through the left side, a base hit. 2 aboard for Tyler Colvin. And let's see. There's been action in that San Diego bullpen.
Yeah, just started throwing, though. They're not ready yet. They're just now starting to air it out down there.
Yeah, I was wondering if go to a stall tactic. Now you get fired up right now. Bud does have 2 lefties down there. Neither one are up, Thatcher or Hinshaw. Kip Wells has been terrific. A ton of ground ball outs. Colvin touched him for a double to left center field in the 4th inning. That would work well right here. 1-0 San Diego. Great numbers with runners in scoring position for Colvin. 7 of his 8 home runs here at 20th and Blake.
When you try to overthrow to keep the ball in the bottom part of the strike zone, a lot of times you take the sink out and you just spike the fastball in the ground because you're so conscious of it. That's more or less what Wells has done now the last 2 pitches. He's got 74 in the game, 44 strikes. But he's trying to be pinpoint control to keep the ball on the ground with Tyler Colvin. And the 2-out walk's what got him.
This ball hit hard up the middle. Forsythe stabs it and gets Wells out of the inning. Colvin hit it hard. Rockies will leave 2 on. We'll go to the 7th 1-0 San Diego. for the Cooney Lexus. Look back. This little bleeder caused an error by Jordan Pacheco, and that's how the only run came home. Drew Pomerantz outstanding in the ballgame. That was an unearned run. 91 to 94 on his fastball, and he flashed 94 a bunch of times. Not only a lot of ground ball outs, he was, as I said earlier, George, he was like a chainsaw chewing up bats. He broke about half a dozen bats in the game.
Fun to watch that. That's what I liked about it. Went out and just attacked it. Chris Nelson stays in the ball game. He'll go to third base with Giambi exiting. Pacheco will go to first base. The rest of your bench intact for the later part of this ball game. Rex Brothers, the left-hander, comes on making his 37th appearance, a record of 3-2, 341 earned run average. Brothers, since returning from AAA, 13 2/3, 1 earned run, 6 hits, 3 walks, 21 strikeouts. The opposition's hit just 128 against Rex Brothers. It has been special times for Rex again.
And the first pitch to Cameron Maben is in there for a strike. Maben hit by a pitch and a ground ball to third. That's a hard slider, and that's a strike also.
See, the other thing about Pomerantz going 6 innings, it just totally eliminates the piggyback guy. Now you're into the heart of your bullpen, on the plus side of your bullpen, of trying to maintain things where they are. So that buys an extra day for the piggyback guys.
And the strikeout of Maben as we check in with Mark Stout.
Drew George, look who I found at the park. Number 10, Dante Bichette. Max HD Sunglass Day today, huh?
Yeah, it's been a good relationship. They make great sunglasses, and they give me a reason to come out and spend some time in Colorado and see the ball players, see the fans. So
we are way above right field. I know you play a little bit of right field, a lot of left, but Dante says, I haven't been up this high.
I don't even think I hit a ball up this high. This is this is a long ways. It's a good view, though.
Have you been able to follow the team a little bit? I know you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, a little bit. I know they've had a rough year, some injuries and things like that. But I try to keep tabs on them a little bit.
We're going to show your first pitch today that you fired into Vinny Castilla. It was impressive.
It was my goal. I figured if I could get up over 80 miles an hour, I might have thrown the hardest first pitch ever. So I might be that guy right now.
You might have that record.
I might have it.
What's on tap for the rest of the summer?
I'm usually at a ball field somewhere with my boys, watching or coaching or doing something like that. And summer is a busy time for baseball, so I'm usually at the ballpark.
Hey, one last thing, Carlos Gonzalez voted to the All-Star team. You were the first Rockies starter in an All-Star game. Do you remember that feeling back in Philadelphia?
I remember being voted in the All-Star game, and what a great feeling that was by the fans, that they appreciated the years that I had. That was a lot of fun. I've seen Cargo hit batting practice, and it's a different. He would have fit right real nice in the Blake Street Bombers.
That he would. All right. Thanks, Dante.
You're welcome.
Drew George.
All right, Mark, thank you. Yeah, Cargo would have fit in any era, swinging the baseball bat. And Dante knows a thing or two about hitting the ball hard and far.
Always like to see him in fantasy camp, hanging out with all of us. I like it when the games start because he gets pretty excited about that.
There's a base hit up the middle by Amarista.
Well, that was right after a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, right by the chin, knocked him down, kind of rolled it over, got right back up. And yeah, a lot of hitters will do that to you. That tough guy hitters will anyway. They'll take that ball and go right back up the shot with you, and that's exactly what happened here on a slider after being knocked down on a 2-1 or 1-1 fastball. Sliders on that outer half, a one-handed swing connects it back up the middle by Rex.
Kip Wells will hit here in the top of the 7th, trying to get a bunt down.
There's nobody throwing down in their bullpen. maybe he will be the guy to go back out for the bottom of the 7th.
One and 0. Nearly a high throw for Brothers. Scudero makes the catch. 2 outs. Amarista to second. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Chris Denorfia at the plate, an infield hitting 3 trips. Rockies trailing 1-0, 7th inning. 3 hits for the Padres, 4 hits for Colorado. Go figure.
0 for 10 combined, these two teams are, with runners in scoring position. San Diego 0 for 7. The Rockies only 3 chances at it with Wells on the mound.
Are we in some sort of time machine, George, and we flipped over to Petco and I didn't realize it?
It sure appears that way, but guess what? You make pitches, throw strikes. It can happen in any ballpark, and it can happen at Coors Field.
Slider swung on and miss. Rex Brothers coming into the ball game, of his last 50 hitters faced, he had struck out 21 of them, averaging 13 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. A hit by Amarista broke a string of 12 straight lefties retired, and 9 of them had struck out. Miami today beat Philadelphia 5-2. Stanton hit another home run. He's got 19. American League Yankees beat the White Sox 4-2. Robbie Cano hit his 20th. He's pretty good, George.
Yes, he is. And the Yankees starting to play a little better baseball. They beat the White Sox 4-2. New York on top of Baltimore now by 5 ball games. There's all kinds of panic early on with Boston not playing well. Boston now in 3rd. They're 6.5 back. Chicago still with a 2.5 game lead in the American League Central. Kansas City 6 back. Even though they're 6 games under 500. Closest they've been at the All-Star break in a long, long time.
One ball, 2 strikes on Chris Denorfia. Good block by Nieves, and Amarista will still move up. A wild pitch, therefore.
Trying to get him to commit on the breaking ball. Boy, Nieves can really block the baseball and keep it out in a short distance away from him, too. And that's a hard pitch to do right here. That was a hard slider. 36th wild pitch of the year, which leads the National League. Not necessarily a category you're hunting for.
And that runs it full, 3-2. Rex Brothers trying to make a pitch here, get the Rockies to the dugout in the bottom of the 7th inning. And keep the score at 1-0 Padres. Padres looking for a little more meat in their lineup going forward. But in terms of role players, they have several of those that I like, George. I like DeNorfia. I like Forsythe, those two guys at the top.
Very good 1-2 punch with those guys. You're going to steal some bases, too, on top of that. Very good defensively. Forsythe have really made some plays today.
Line drive, base hit for DeNorfia. And that brings home Amarista.
Elevated fastball out over the plate. He had tried over and over to go down and in, and just didn't get it done. So the sacrifice, wild pitch, advanced him, and then DeNorfia just comes up with a huge base hit. It's just his 12th RBI of the season. Fastball, and look at the location of this pitch. It's elevated out over, and then all he tried to do is just take the ball to the right side to get a pretty good swing on it. Now you're looking at a 2-0 ball game.
Scudero calling. Now Johnny Herrera will call him off, and he makes the catch. In the inning, there was a base hit, a sac bunt, a wild pitch, and ultimately a run-scoring single from Chris DeNorfia. 2-0 Padres. We stick around on this Sunday afternoon for God Bless America. And today it'll be performed by Sergeant Lance Christensen. Enjoy, everybody.
Fans, please direct your attention to the home plate area for a special recognition. Joining us today as invited guests of the Colorado Rockies is Sergeant Elias Martinez with his wife Berlinda, and Sergeant Joshua Clore with his guest Brandon Sherrick. Both of these men serve for the United States Marine Corps and have served several deployments overseas, including Iraq and Afghanistan. Fans, please give a warm Coors Field Heroes welcome to these brave men. Thank you for your sacrifice to our great nation. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country by the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today, representing the Colorado National Guard's 101st Army Band, is Sergeant Lance Christensen. Please welcome Sergeant Christensen and join him by singing along to God Bless America.
business locally on the network's People Watch. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. It's only been a couple of runs. Padres have an unearned run in the third. You saw they scratched out a run last inning. 2-out hit by Denorfia to plate Amarista. Drew Pomeranz for the Rockies. The story, 6 innings. The velocity between 91 and 94 consistently. Good cutter. Broke a number of bats today. Nothing hit hard against him as he goes 6 innings in his return to the big leagues.
It's an outstanding job.
And Kip Wells, obviously, a big part of the story as well. Kip Wells making his second start after being picked up from the Padres. He was in AAA with them, called up, and he's been terrific today. Jordan Pacheco rolls one up the middle. Good start as Pacheco reaches in the bottom of the bottom of the 7th inning.
I really can't imagine Kip Wells being around too much longer. Herrera, then Nieves, and then you're going to end up having a pinch hitter. So, I mean, I just don't see where Bud may go with this or how long he would go with this. Different story now. You let him swing the bat a little bit because you are down 2 versus 1. Thatcher, the left-hander. Vincent, the right-hander.
Yeah, Johnny squared around, but that's a look-see to maybe move that third baseman, Chase Headley, a little bit, open up a hole on the left side, George, because down 1, yes, down 2, I'm not buying it. Outside 1-1.
Really don't know why you play up that close, though. I mean, if you want to play on the grass, go ahead. You can still come in and get a bunt for a base hit and react to it and get the out. If he slashes one down there, you don't have any chance. You've really limited your mobility and range at third.
Runner going, hitting runs on, and
wow.
On the tag, double play. Amarista fielded the ball and tagged Pacheco. It's a 6-3 double play.
Talk about athletic. This little guy's got some quick feet. All right, runners off, left-handed bat pulled into there, able to put the tag on. When he caught this baseball, spin around, and then there's the arm, a perfect strike to first.
That's a fancy play.
The kid's having quite a couple of days here, isn't he?
23-year-old Alexi Amarista. Will Nieves with 2 outs and nobody on. Carlos Gonzalez has walked to the on-deck circle. And now he walks back downstairs, takes his helmet off, still got a bat. Eric Young Jr. is going to march up the stairs. And this is going to be a tough play. Forsythe won't throw it. An infield hit for Nieves. Now, do you play the cargo card here?
Yeah,
or do you stay with Young? Well, I think Jim Tracy's going to hold it back.
Thatcher's down there warming up. He's the most difficult left-hander they've got in their bullpen. So you send up him on the right, to go up and face right on the left. If you send Cargo up, you're for sure going to get Thatcher.
So Eric Young will pinch hit.
Pinch hit appearances, obviously has done this a lot. Eric Young leads the National League with 40.
Down the left field line, and the sliding catch is made by Guzman. Nice grab by Jesus Guzman. And the Rockies are done in their half of the seventh.
Padres have a 2-0 lead as we go to the 8th inning at Coors Field. Over the weekend, the Rockies raised money for the wildfires that have been all around Colorado. They raised $64,000. You can still donate at ColoradoRockies.com through the month of July. Chase Headley's about to hit. He's from Fountain, Fort Carson, and had a lot to say about the wildfire situation in his home state.
It's a shame. I mean, you don't realize I think the extent of it until you really dig into it, and how many thousands of people are being evacuated and how many people have already lost their homes. So it's really sad, and you're hoping that you get a little break in the weather and we can start to get these things under control. But it's just an unfortunate situation.
And again, you can still donate at ColoradoRockies.com through July and help out the wildfire efforts. Drew and George.
Absolutely, thank you, Mark. There are a number of websites you can go to. I was talking to a guy in our crew today who's a firefighter as well, and those folks have been working round the clock for weeks. Matt Belisle's on. Chase Headley's now at the plate. Six strong innings from Pomerantz. Brothers gave up a run last inning, and now Matt Belisle, who was an all-star candidate.
Well, I compared his numbers in the first half to Aaron Crow of the Kansas City Royals. This ball's lashed down the left field line. Go foul. They won't.
Leadoff double for Headley.
Kind of surprised this ball actually stayed fair. Behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Ball's going to tail away from him with a hard sinker. So when it's hit, this ball had to be hit hard to stay in fair territory. Otherwise, right down that line, you'd think it typically would have a little bit of a fade, but it hit right on the line. A strong throw in for Colvin, but a leadoff double.
Jesus Guzman at the plate. 1 strike count on Guzman. For last year, Guzman killed the Rockies. Good numbers against Belisle. Look out. We were talking, it's tough to make an all-star team as a setup guy. It's especially tough to make an all-star team as a setup guy on a team that's 17 games under 500.
Yeah, and Aaron Crow a year ago made it with the Kansas City Royals, but he was the one doing the best at the time, and that's who took it as a guy off their bullpen. A single domination a year ago. I think that's where a lot of the steam started to roll for Matt Belisle. It'd be exciting for Matt to get the opportunity to go to Kansas City and do that, but now he'll have 4 days off to give that arm a little bit of rest.
I think anybody who's followed the Rockies realizes the last 2 seasons, for whatever reason, they have been just awful on Sundays. This year, on Sundays, a 2-10 record, and they haven't scored on Sundays. Last week they lost 4-2 in Texas, scored a couple runs late. They were shut out in Detroit 2 weeks ago, 5-0 on Sunday, and today, as you just saw, a bunch of zeros on the scoreboard. This is a base hit to right. Headley will stop at third, and now they have Guzman hung up. Herrera takes a look at Headley. They'll get the out. That's perfectly done.
Not sure why he didn't watch the throw coming in, because it was.
Not sure what Guzman was doing there.
Base hit to right, thinking, all right, he's going to go ahead and screw her. Here comes the throw coming in for Kadire. Cut off by Pacheco. Well, before the throw ever got there, he was running around the bag. Pacheco wisely cut it off, runner out in front of him. You know, as a catcher, Will Nieves watching the runner at third to help make those decisions. So he yells cut. You know, obviously that allowed them to get the out in the rundown. 1 out, runner at a third now.
Here's Grandal. Time now from the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Earlier in the ball game, Dexter Fowler on a fly ball from Grandal with a perfect strike to the plate to get Logan Forsythe. That's brought to you by Crossbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And there's a strike on the corner, 1-1. We showed you near the top of the broadcast today that Yasmani Grandal, in his first career start yesterday, a home run from the right side, home run from the left side. First 2 career hits. Never happened before in the history of the game. First National Leaguer to do it this year. The last National Leaguer to do it was early September of 2011 when Dexter Fowler homered from both sides of the plate in the same game. It's happened in the American League twice this year. A couple of Yankees. Nick Swisher, Mark Teixeira. 1-2. Got him. Good pitch by Belisle. Two outs, and that'll bring up Yonder Alonso.
The swing looked like a rookie swing against a veteran guy making a pitch. And Belisle got right up on top of the slider, threw it in the perfect position on that back foot. You see the swing. Foot went up, and then it was just kind of a wave at the baseball. Really didn't have an opportunity to do anything with it.
There you go, right on right with the slumping Cameron Maben. Pass on Alonso.
The Rockies will be opening a new dugout store in Aurora this month, located at the corner of Parker and Arapahoe Roads. Call 303-832-TEAM for information about the opening. It's exciting news. 303-832-TEAM.
Bo McLaughlin coming out.
Cameron Maben has proven it's been difficult for him to be able to hit the hard slider. Go at him, get a head fastball, let him chase after that. Still struggling. 152 since June 7th and a 12 for 79 slump.
And it's quickly a 2-strike count on Maben.
A little elevated slider, may have gotten away with one there. But at 83 with some late movement, got hit up into the seats.
One, two, he went. Strike three, so the strategy pays off. And it was a slider, fittingly, that gets Maben. So Matt Palau walks off. Rockies running out of opportunities. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. They trail at 2-0. Two 2-0 San Diego, bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies will have the top of the order, and they'll face Luke Gregerson. Stick around after the game today for Rockies Weekly with Jim Tracy. Look for the keyword during the show. Text it to 720-720 for a chance to receive prizes. And you'll hear from the skipper. Win great giveaways by watching Rockies Weekly. Do it every Sunday on Root Sports. So Luke Gregerson will take over, new right fielder for the Padres. Will Venable as Chris Denorfia moves from right to left and Guzman comes out. There's Will, the Princeton grad. Gregerson in the ball game yesterday. Sinker slider, primarily a slider. Been a real good setup man for the Padres. Dexter Fowler, Marco Scutero, and Chris Nelson. Rockies have Helton and of course Cargo on their bench today. You also have Willeen Rosario. And this is going to be
caught. No, he dropped it.
And a good play by Amarista to stay with it. He holds Dexter to a single.
He actually had that ball in his glove.
I've been impressed with this guy.
Man, have I ever.
Look how far out into left field he went to make a play.
See what happens here with the ball. Bounced. We couldn't see that. It bounced, and then he had it out here in front of him.
Still a great effort.
Oh, yeah.
So Dexter's aboard. Marco Scutero's at the plate. How about Kip Wells? 7 innings of shutout baseball, allowing 6 hits.
Walked a couple of guys, but got a strikeout when he needed to. But more importantly, just kept the ball on the ground for the majority of the day.
Yeah, he walked 2, struck out 2. And Scutero works underneath this one. Chris Nelson will come up with 1 out. Who wants tacos, fans? If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, text TACO to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Chris Nelson bounces one to third, and Headley nearly got Forsythe killed by throwing that ball high.
Wasn't hit very hard either, so that allowed a speedy Dexter Fowler to get down there pretty quick. Then they just cap it all off with a high throw. Dexter went in hard, but Forsythe able to just kind of skip out of the way and avoid anything. But Dexter did prevent the double play.
Michael Kadire 1 for 3. And this is off the end of the bat. Chris Denorfia in left center is going to get there. So Gregerson works a scoreless 8th inning. We go to the 9th, 2-0 San Diego. Lines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. By StubHub, hey fans, want to be here in person the next time the Rockies take the field? Just head to StubHub and choose your seats today. By Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by 5-Hour Energy. 5-Hour Energy fixes tired fast. Rockies trailing 2-0, ninth inning. After the ballgame, the Toyota postgame show, Jenny Kavnar is situated in center field all by herself.
All by my lonesome out here. I will have two wonderful gentlemen join me for the Toyota postgame show. We'll talk about the lefty Lucy. That's Drew Pomeranz. He came back after about 2 months absence from the big league club. He went 6 innings, only gave up 2 hits, and didn't have an earned run. The only run he had on his clock was unearned. And how about an out-of-field experience? Are we at Petco Park today? That's what it feels like in this 2-0 ball game. But let's hope we return to Coors Field for the bottom of the 9th. And of course, we'll get you sound from Jim Tracy. It's all coming up on the Toyota postgame show. Drew?
Hey, Jenny.
Yes, sir.
That was a really nice tease. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what we say in the business. We tease what's ahead. Jenny Kavnar and the gang coming up after the ball game. Rockies trailing 2-0, top of the 9th inning with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Mark Stout out amongst the people today. There's more than 31,000 people to be amongst. Almost 32,000 in the house this afternoon. Matt Reynolds will throw the 9th inning, 35th appearance for the product of Austin P. And Amarista at the plate takes a strike. Deep fly ball to left. An attempt to bunt his way on that did not work out, and then a base hit center field. 1 for 3 for Amarista. And it's going to be 2 for 4. He hangs in there pretty well against lefties. Both of his hits against lefties. His other one came against brothers. Today's Save of the Week is brought to you by the Regions Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your local consumer-owned electric cooperative delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and more. Visit togetherwesave.com. Adam Ottavino on Thursday against the Nationals. A couple of strong innings. Also had 5 strikeouts. That's pretty good, huh? 2 innings. Will Venable's first plate appearance, double switch last inning.
The right-hander Renick is getting loose down in the Rockies bullpen just in case Matt Reynolds runs into any more trouble.
Good bunt by Venables.
Houston Street, the All-Star, getting loose down in the San Diego Padre bullpen. Jim Tracy will go down and get the right-hander Renicky to come in and face Denorfia.
So Josh Renicky will come in. Matt Reynolds will check out. 2-0 San Diego when we return to Coors Field. July, Root Sports is looking for the biggest Rockies fans in Utah. Tell us why you're a fan and enter to win the ultimate fan experience, which includes travel and a hotel for you and a guest to visit Denver to watch the Rockies in action from the Root Sports Suite, plus a Root Sports prize pack and other good prizes as well. For official rules and to enter, visit RockyMountain.rootsports.com. Josh Renicky will wipe his brow, pull the hat over his head, and get ready to face Chris Denorfia. 2 for 4 today at the top of the Padre lineup. Rockies won on Friday night 10-2, fell 8-4 yesterday. Colorado 3-3 so far on this homestand. Heading to St. Louis, Missouri after the game, a 4-game set against Matt Holliday, Carlos Beltran, Rafael Furcal in the Cards, David Freese. They can swing a little bit. They're in a battle in the National League Central. Clint Hurdle's Pirates has surprised again, led by Andrew McCutchen in that Central. And then it's off to Washington. We'll see the Nationals again. 1 strike to count on Denorfia.
Nick Schmidt, who came over in a trade for Houston Street, had been moved to AAA after being an all-star in AA Tulsa. Getting roughed up a little bit today, giving up a couple of home runs, 4 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned runs. He's walked 4, struck out 3. In Sacramento, where they're taking on the Oakland Ball Club, they're losing 6-1.
Two-strike count on Denorfia.
Somewhat of an adjustment for Renicky with all the added work, meaning he was used to 1 inning, 2 innings at the most, but now all of a sudden get 3 and getting a lot of appearances. He throws a fastball, just a late running fastball in the middle of the plate.
That's out of play. One out in the top of the 9th. To short. Herrera across to Pacheco, 2 outs. Logan Forsythe with Amarista at 3rd.
Well, the first 20,000 on July 15th, you're going to receive a Juan Nicasio shirt courtesy of the University of Colorado Health. Get your tickets today. Philadelphia will be in town on a Sunday day game.
Here's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Forsythe. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Rockies will have Tyler Colvin, Jordan Pacheco, and Johnny Herrera. And again, on their bench, you have Helton and Gonzalez. And also Willeen Rosario. This is slowly hit. Nice play, Renicky. Now make a good throw, and he does. That's a really athletic play by a guy who was a 2-sport star at UCLA, football and baseball, Josh Renicky. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies being shut out by the Padres 2-0. They'll have to rally against their old friend Houston Street. Text alerts to 720-720 and receive text message updates from Root Sports all season long. Bottom of the ninth inning, the Rockies have been baffled today. First for 7 innings by former Rocky Kip Wells, and then a scoreless inning from Luke Gregerson, and now it's former Rocky and current Padre All-Star Houston Street, who's 11 for 11 in save opportunities.
I'm sure they discussed with Bud Black. I got a couple of guys. One of them is this guy. The other one is Houston Street. 21 ball games, 11 saves, 135 ERA, only 6 walks in 20 innings, 22 strikeouts. The other being Chase Headley at third as far as an all-star is concerned. But you're going to see Houston Street's name bandied around throughout baseball as a trade candidate to a contending ball club.
Street worked in yesterday's ball game. Not a save situation, but he pitched the ninth inning with the Padres up 8-4, and it was a 1-2-3 ninth inning in which he punched out 2.
Very efficient yesterday.
Tyler Colvin, Jordan Pacheco. If anybody reaches, I think the first bat you'd see is Cargo's naturally. Colvin has a double today, and he takes ball 1. Wondering, the Rockies, there's Cargo. The Rockies have been shut out 4 times this year, twice at home. Barry Zito did it on April 9th, complete game performance. Kevin Millwood, a complete game performance for Seattle on May 18th. Speaking of former Rockies, the Padres have shut out the Rockies at Coors Field twice in their history. 1999, Andy Ashby did it in a complete game performance. 6 pitchers last September 21st in an Anthony Bass start.
Came out and made that 1 start, wasn't it? He made 1 start previous and really pitched well against the Rockies. Came back up again in September, and that's where he pitched flawlessly.
Street saved 84 ball games in 95 attempts with the Rockies. That save percentage of 88.4% is the best in Rockies history. It's the 1-2 on Colvin, and he gets Colvin a chase, loose baseball. And no panic from Yasmani Grandal. 1 out. Jordan Pacheco is 1 for 3. Get 1 guy on. Give Cargo that 1 swing to tie it up. Such an unusual situation for Carlos Gonzalez. He starts virtually every day. This is playable. Chase Headley calls off Grandal, and that's the way you like to see it done.
Yeah, the young rookie looks around going, anybody going to yell for this besides me? Got a high sun. It's right behind home plate. Somebody come running in and help out. And he's like, when he heard I got it, he was like, you can have it.
So Johnny will hit here. Had one of the first two reached. Jim Tracy would have pinch hit for Herrera. Now he'll probably pinch hit for Nieves if Johnny were to get on.
Typical type save for Houston Street. 5 pitches, 2 outs. He's a contact closer. And he will pound the strike zone, so he's going to get a lot of early outs in the deal. He started running that sinker pretty good. His velocity 89.92. Gonzalez awaits in the dugout.
That's a great way of describing it. Street, a 3-pitch closer, which is a little bit unusual. Most closers are 2-pitch guys. Street will strike out right at a hitter an inning, which is what you want from your closer also. But not a lot of deep counts typically when he's on. 1 ball, 1 strike on Johnny Herrera, trying to give Cargo an opportunity, and this is foul. Here's the 1-2 on Herrera, and he got him. A 1-2-3 save for Houston Street, and the Rockies get shut out by the Padres 2-0, and their woes on Sunday continue, particularly scoring. They've been shut out 2 of the last 3 Sundays, 2 runs in their last 3 Sunday ball games period. They're now 2-11 on Sunday. They finished the homestand 3 up and 4 down. The Padres taking 2 of 3 here in Denver. Kip Wells gets his first victory in a Padre uniform and his first win anywhere since September 20th of 2009. Pomeranz, though he pitched beautifully, takes the loss. He's now 0-3. He gave up 1 unearned run in 6 innings. And Houston Street is now 12 for 12 in save opportunities. Today's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. And Kip Wells went 7 innings. He scattered 6 hits. And he did not allow a run. Close, really, to a run. To be honest with you, there weren't a lot of hard-hit balls. Kip Wells in his second start in a Padre uniform. Twirled the gem. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Rockies are off to St. Louis and then Washington. Stick around.